Ionic traces are about to become meta in Destiny 2, and thanks to this electrifying build you'll have infinite arc buddies allowing you to be permanently amplified and jolt everything with your tickle fingers. These have always been a thing for Stormcaller Warlocks, but thanks to the Arc 3.0 subclass update, the whole Arc sandbox has been shaken up and now Ionic traces are even more potent. As standard, they'll track to you when you create them, and thanks to the slept on Season 17 update to Coldheart, this long forgotten Red War exotic has been sparked back to life. Consistent damage with it will create these traces for you, and these, along with Coldheart, will now also synergize with a bunch of the new Arc 3.0 aspects and fragments. As it's an Arc energy weapon, it'll intrinsically help to make you amplified, buffing your sprint speed and weapon handling. The new electrostatic mind aspect also plays into this, doubling down on the Ionic trace creation via Arc ability and Arc debuffed enemy final blows. Collecting traces will also make you amplified too. However, you can make Coldheart's longest winter even crispier by chucking on the new Spark of Beacons fragment. Final blows with any Arc special weapon whilst amplified will create a blinding explosion. Now you'd think Crown of Tempest would be a good fit here, and you'd be right, but because the Ionic traces and also elemental wells will be boosting your cooldowns, you really don't need it. What you do need is your ever trusty Arc buddies. You can set it up by using the Arc Soul aspect, which will allow you to summon one by using your Rift, and you can supercharge it by simply collecting any Ionic trace. This aspect also inherently recharges your Rift faster when nearby to allies, much like the old electrostatic surge trait did. But to really make the most out of it, you want to pair it with the Getaway Artist exotic gauntlets. These have seen a slight rework this season, as now not only do they allow you to consume your grenade to instantly make a supercharged sentient Arc Soul which lasts for 15 seconds, but it will also make you amplified. You can keep extending this by dropping Rift before the timer expires and loop this back around by then consuming your grenade again to rinse and repeat. This gives you two ways to create supercharged Arc Souls by consuming your grenade or collecting Ionic traces, and will give you near 100% uptime. As long as you're getting kills with Coldheart or any of your abilities including the Arc Souls, you'll be creating plenty of Ionic traces to improve your ability cooldowns. Then if you add in the Spark of Discharge, you can increase your chances of creating Ionic traces. The Spark of Recharge will boost ability cooldowns when critically wounded, and the Spark of Focus can even aid in your Rift cooldown even further. The Tickle Fingers Super has been reworked to include both Landfall and the Ionic Blink ability, and it's perfect pairing to use with infinite Arc buddies. As standard, an elemental armaments and a Font of Might mod setup will further boost Coldheart's damage by 25% and chuck on bountiful wells to make more of them too. Elemental time dilation is a good pick, and you might as well use the Well of Ions to increase your arc melee damage, especially useful on the reworked melee abilities. Mods like Bomber, Harmonic Siphon and Absolution won't go amiss either. The new and improved Stormcaller, Coldheart along with Infinite Arc Souls is going to be a popular pick for day 1 raiders, and this shocking build could net you some sweet King's Fall raid loot too. If you want Infinite Jolt, the new Delicate Tomb exotic is electrifying.